Hi everyone, it's Sherry, and I'm going to do a video for you today on hand position with the harp, okay? So let's get started. So I want you to take your left hand, lift your elbow, and put the rest of your arm perpendicular to the elbow, sort of like this, okay? So we're going to look at the wrist and the fingers because that's the most important part, okay? So make sure your wrist is flat. And then I want you to put your fingers flat to begin with, okay? Now lift your thumb, really feel the stretch, and take your fingers and point them downwards. Just like this, okay? So you really feel the stretch. And then the motion of the fingers when you pluck, you're going to take your fingers and pull them to the palm. So at first really exaggerate this to make sure you get the motion correctly, okay? So take a few minutes and just push the fingers into the palm because that's the motion we're going to create. Make sure you're using your fingers to pluck, okay? Not the wrist. You're not pulling on your wrist or your arm. You're just using the fingers, okay? And your thumb is going to go like this, okay? Now, I'm going to translate this to a scale because a scale is the basic building block of, pretty much any instrument. I've been playing for a long time and I still start just doing basic scales to warm up, you know. So let me show you how to do this. Okay. I want you to take your four fingers, take your index finger, and put it in the middle of the red note at the bottom of the harp. And that's a C. Put your middle finger on the note above it, your ring finger on the note above that one, and your thumb on the note above that one. This is going to translate to C, D, E, F. Now, to do the scale, go really slowly, take your index finger, push it into the palm. Now do this all the way up. But before we pluck the next string with the thumb, you want to take your index finger and put it on the string above that, which is a G. Make sure that finger's there before you pluck the F string, which is the one that your thumb is on, okay? Remember that thumb motion and remember to keep the thumb up and push it into the palm. Now before you pluck the next string, make sure your fingers are starting to prepare for the next notes. And do the same motion. Push your fingers into your palm. Now this is the same thing where before you pluck the last string, make sure your fingers are already starting to prepare. So you at least have your next finger down the scale, okay? Make sure that thumb is prepared before you pluck the last note. Okay, so that might be a little confusing at first. I'm going to do another example really slowly, just so you can watch my fingers and really get the idea. But this time I'm going to use the right hand. So just so you know, it is the same position with the right hand, only with the right hand you don't have to worry about keeping your elbow up as much. With the left hand, when you play, you really want to keep this sort of perpendicular angle, okay? So, one more time. Wrist flat, thumb up, feel that stretch, fingers down. The motion, fingers into the palm. And the thumb. Okay, so together, just really practice that, okay? And again, make sure your wrist stays flat and that you're using your fingers, not your wrist and your hand to pluck, because this is a plucking motion. Okay, so watch really slowly as I do the same scale with the right hand, only I'm going to do it higher up on the middle C, which is a red string. And always remember to pluck in the middle of the string to get the best tone, okay? So I'm going to do it really slowly just so you can see how I prepare before playing the next note, okay? So just to keep in mind before you play any note, you always want to think about the next note you're going to play and make sure that your fingers are prepared for at least one more note, if not more. Okay, so here is a really slow example of that. Okay. Okay, so middle of the string. Just pluck the strings really slowly and remember to pull them all the way into the palm. Now before you pluck this note, your next finger is already on the next note up the harp before you pluck it, okay? And then prepare those next fingers. Same thing going down. Make sure your ring or your index finger is prepared. Okay, now I'm going to do it one more time really slowly, okay? Now this is where you prepare. Before you pluck this string with the thumb, make sure your finger is already ready for the next note. And then prepare those fingers. The same on the way down. Make sure the fingers are prepared. See how they're already on the strings? And see how before I'm plucking this last note, I know where my next finger is going to be, okay? Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you, any of you just getting started. If you have any questions or if you think there's a way I could better demonstrate this, feel free to comment. Okay, thanks so much.